Mid-America Industrial Park's Living Grand on Grand Lake is presented by Cherokee Grove Casino and made possible by
Orchids is a premier manufacturer of private label tissue towel and napkins. If you've purchased private label tissue towel or napkins, there's a very, very good chance that it came from this facility. We went from being a regional player in our game to being a national distributor now, and we're very, very proud of that fact. The employees here at Orchids are great. They provide us the best resource that we could ask for. We've got a lot of honest, hardworking people that really help us, progress as a company. Being inside the Mid-American Industrial Park is a huge advantage to a company like ours because there's a lot of resources that come with it. There's a lot of collaboration between the companies that reside here in the park. For those younger folks that are interested in a career, Orchids is a great place for them to look at. We provide great benefits, we provide a future, we provide opportunities.
Plus by viewers and members like you.
Coming up on Living Grand on Grand Lake, we'll visit the land of milk and honey, take a quick tour of Grand Lake, and we'll get to know the legend behind the bubble top. All of this and more coming up next on Living Grand on Grand Lake.
This is Living Grand.
This is Living Grand.
This is Living Grand.
And this is Living Grand on Grand Lake.
Welcome to Living Grand on Grand Lake. I'm Christy Wallace. One local dairy farmer assures us that happy cows make good milk. After visiting the Loma Dairy Farm, short for Land of Milk and Honey, we believe him. Stan and Donna Johnson gave up their careers as veterinarians to live their dream of running a dairy farm. As you can see, their cows range free and live a happy life just a few miles from the Grand Lake shoreline.
The work is never done here. I always tell him you have to have a mutation to enjoy this, and he definitely has it. We think two of our children might have it, and I don't have it. I haven't picked it up yet, but he certainly loves his Jersey cows, and he's living his dream right now, and we all work real hard.
Well, growing up, my grandfather on my mother's side had a medium-sized dairy, for the time. And so then when I was in about the 8th grade, I started milking cows, a little Jersey dairy, selling milk to the public on a very small scale.
His dad, as a young man, worked for the people that owned this farm, and they had brown Swiss dairy cows, just a few. But he was a neighbor kid, and he'd come over here and work, and the gentleman that owned it always said, "Boy, Johnny, I wish you'd buy this farm someday." And then as he became an adult, he did offer it to him, but the timing wasn't right for him.
I told him I didn't know if we could afford to buy it, but we'd certainly like to try. We lived across the road in the little yellow house. You drove past the white picket fence, and both springs run across that farm. And so we knew if somebody bought this and did something industrial, it'd probably ruin our other place. So we needed a bigger house also.
And so it thrilled his dad when we actually bought this farm. We were veterinarians. I went to University of Missouri at Columbia, and he went to OSU. And like I said, we met through work, and he always talked about his dairy cows, and he always had this dream of having a small dairy and selling milk to the public where people would come out to the farm. And I didn't have any alarm bells go off, but I know he talked about it often. We raise Jersey cows, and Jersey cows are one of the antique breeds of cows. So antique breeds are Jerseys, Guernseys, goats would fall into that category in the type of milk they produce.
We're very particular about what our cows eat. They run on about 200 acres, rotate from pasture to pasture. They drink spring water. The feed that they consume is a very high quality, no soybean, no byproducts. It's all a good, wholesome product that comes from Purina.
So the Jersey cows are very, very much easy keepers. They're gentle cows. I like that aspect. They drink from an artesian spring, so they drink wonderfully fresh water, and we think that that is why the milk is so good, but combined with their breed and then the abundance of artesian water that just bubbles out.
And we also raise our own alfalfa, no herbicides, no pesticides. So, you know, we don't put any chemicals on our pastures. People know that they can buy our product and without any questions know it's a high quality product.
We sell our milk primarily in Tulsa. Many of the research stores sell it, not all of them, but many of them do. You can find the milk in several coffee shops, Coffee House on Cherry Street,
Foolish Things, Fairfellow,
the Topeka Group, Shades of Brown. Pioneer Woman is selling our milk in their coffee shop, using it in her restaurant as well.
Camaro, McNally's, Bodine's, Nordaggio's.
And the Cherry Street Farmers Market, of course, every Saturday, Cherry Street Farmers Market, bright and early. We love it because people come to the farm and, you know, not everybody can have a Jersey cow in their backyard and produce their own milk, even though many people would like to, but they can come out here, they can walk around, they can watch the cows being milked, they can go look at the baby calves in the barn, they can look at the sheep that are out all the time. The best day to come for a tour is Sunday afternoon. We try not to have extra work on Sunday and just do our necessary work, so we have a little extra time and you can come out and you can see the cows, you can look at the baby calves, and he can give you the grand tour. So we love to give tours so that people can see where the milk comes from, that yes, the family farm is still alive and it can be done. It can be a viable operation.
Be sure to visit their store located on the farm. It operates on the honor system, or visit their Facebook page to get more information about how to purchase their products. While you're online, pull up our website, rsu.tv. Click on shows and then Living Grand on Grand Lake. You can watch previous episodes from all 4 seasons. Up next, I'll be your personal tour guide as I take you to a few of my favorite spots on the lake.
Hi, this is Marty Follis, former mayor of Grove, Oklahoma, and this is Living Grand on Grand Lake.
This is Living Grand on Grand Lake.
Orchids is a premier manufacturer of private label tissue towel and napkins. If you've purchased private label tissue towel or napkins, there's a very, very good chance that it came from this facility. We went from being a regional player in our game to being a national distributor now. We're very, very proud of that fact. The employees here at Orchids are great. They provide us the best resource that we could ask for. You know, we've got a lot of honest, hardworking people that really help us, you know, progress as a company. Being inside the Mid-American Industrial Park is a huge advantage to a company like ours because there's a lot of resources that come with it. There's a lot of collaboration between the companies that reside here in the park. For those younger folks that are interested in a career, Orchids is a great place for them to look at. We provide great benefits, we provide a future, we provide opportunities.
Today I want to talk about the importance of knowing our waters and safely navigating the lakes. One of the first things we need is the proper depth finder on our boat. By using the depth finder, we can find when the water is going to get shallow or become hazardous and navigate around those. The next thing we need to do is to buy the proper maps for the lake that we're on or the waterways that we're using. Here's an example of the Grand Chart book. It shows a lot of history of the lake, the hazardous areas, and many things that we can learn about the waterways that we're on. Another example, this one's designed for fishing and it shows the contours, but yet shows the hazards and many things about the lake that we can use. Another tip is using locators such as Lowrance or Humminbird, Garmin, some of the locators that are out there that actually have GPS and can navigate the waters for us, show us safe ways to navigate the lake. All these things can be found at your local convenience stores, sporting goods stores, and even Walmart. So learn our lakes and be safe.
Welcome back to Mid-America Industrial Park's Living Grand on Grand Lake, presented by Cherokee Grove Casino. And now, time for the Living Grand on Grand Lake events page. Come check out the 2017 Jana J. Fiddle Camp and Music Festival this Labor Day weekend in Grove. The festival kicks off at 6 p.m. on September 1st and features a fun-filled weekend with a workshop and performances in all acoustic instruments. All public events are free at the Grove Civic Center and Snyder's Camp. Visit their website for more information on the schedule of events. Looking for something a little different? Then head on over to Bernice State Park this Labor Day weekend and celebrate the Bernice Nature Center's 11th birthday. Wrap up the summer season on Grand Lake and enjoy naturalist-led hikes, activities, and adventures from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. all weekend long. Fireworks in September? You bet! Come see the Monkey Island Labor Day fireworks at Grand Lake Regional Airport on September 3rd. The fireworks will begin once it gets dark around 8 p.m. on Monkey Island. It's gonna be a blast! Well, that's it for now from the Living Grand on Grand Lake events page. Welcome back to Mid-America Industrial Park's Living Grand on Grand Lake, presented by Cherokee Grove Casino.
You know, I grew up coming to the lake. Every weekend of every summer we spent on Grand Lake, so moving here as an adult was a dream come true. I love to talk to people who are visiting our lake, and one of the things that I hear frequently is they're not familiar with the lake, they don't know where to go to hang out, and they're always surprised to find out how much we use our boats on the lake. So one of the things I'd like to do today is take you and show you some of my favorite places to hang out. So next time you come to the lake, you'll know all the great places to go to have a lot of fun. So here we go. So right now we're on the Honey Creek arm of Grand Lake, which is where I live. Honey Creek Marina is a convenient place to stop, get gas, ice, snacks. Of course, they rent wave runners, which will help get us to our next location where we're going on Courthouse. But Honey Creek is really nice because it's so close to town. Several resorts right on Honey Creek, including the state park, which is located right at the end of Honey Creek, and we'll pass that on our way to Courthouse Hollow. Also on Honey Creek is the Parrot Restaurant. We've been there before. It's a great place to eat right on the lake, so you can go by land or by lake. You know, if you don't have a boat or a jet ski, it is a great place. Beautiful views of Honey Creek and Grand Lake. They do a sunset toast every night. But Honey Creek is one of my favorite parts of the lake. It's just it's easy to get to. It's close to town, several restaurants, the state park, several resorts. So yeah, it's a great place to hang out on Grand Lake. So to get to Courthouse Hollow, we're gonna go to the end of Honey Creek. We're gonna go west to the end of Honey Creek. You'll see the state park, and we're gonna turn south. You'll know you're at Courthouse Hollow because it's directly across from Shangri-La. It's the first big cove we're gonna come to on the east side. So here we go. So here we are in Courthouse Hollow. Legend has it that it's called Courthouse Hollow because years ago there was a courthouse located in the area before it was relocated today. This is a great spot to hang out. It's a very protective cove, so it's a lot of fun to come back here and ski, surf, tube with your kids. I'll also point out this kind of, I guess you'd call it a little peninsula. There's a gravelly beach area over there, so that's a lot of fun to raft up near that beach. Some people like to picnic and barbecue over there. Then towards the back of the cove where there's a no wake area, lots of boats like to tie up and raft out for the day just to swim and hang out. So of course, out on the main lake, you know, you can tool along at just about any reasonable safe speed, but some of the coves on the lake are no wake zones, which means that you need to come off plane and you're literally going so slow that your boat is not putting out of wake. There are other coves like Courthouse, which is no wake if your boat is over a certain length. So that's something you want to study up before you come to the lake and hang out. Of course, you can get lake maps on your phone. You can get them at most of the marinas, but take a look so you'll know where you're going. But I definitely recommend you come and check out Courthouse. You can usually find smooth water here, great places to raft out if you just want to hang out and swim for a while. Okay, so next we're going to go to Woodard Hollow, another really popular cove where people hang out. It's just the next coast south from here, so it's really, really easy to get to. So hang on, here we go. All right, so we are at Woodard Hollow, a super popular cove on the lake. So Woodard Hollow is just south of Courthouse Hollow. You'll know you're here. Look for this point with the big tall pines sign out front. It's really easy to find. Again, use your app or your lake map to help you along, but it's an easy cove to find, and you're just going to go towards the back of the cove. It becomes a full no wake zone, and that's where everybody rafts up. We just came out of Woodard Hollow, right across the lake. Behind me you can see the Shangri-La Resort, just to prove a point of how easy it is to get around here by boat. To get to Honey Creek from Shangri-La is about a 4 or 5 minute boat ride. To go by land is about a 20-minute car ride. So we almost always hop in our boat to come over here. Even when my husband plays golf, he takes his clubs down to the boat and heads on over to Shangri-La, and they'll pick you up on a shuttle and take you up to the golf club. You can access, they have 3 restaurants here, so this is a really fun stop to make on the lake. Great place to have lunch or dinner, and just check out this beautiful resort. So from Shangri-La, we're gonna go over on the north side of the lake. It's kind of at a fork in the lake, so if we go over on the north and to the west, that's gonna take us to Sailboat Bridge. All right, so we just went under Sailboat Bridge, and this is the first large cove on the right-hand side or to the south of Sailboat Bridge. It's called Wolf Creek, and you've actually seen Wolf Creek before. We've featured a lot on our show. You know, we've watched the drag races here, the Thunder on Wolf Creek. This is also where the Bassmaster Classic takes place. Wolf Creek is a huge cove and still protected, so again, it's a great place for water sports, swimming, fishing. Nice place to hang out with your family. Another great thing about Wolf Creek is you can get there by car. If you go to the Wolf Creek Park, they have docks that the public is welcome to get out and use, so you can fish, you can swim. They also have a really nice boat ramp, so if you're looking for a place to put your watercraft in the water, I really recommend the Wolf Creek Park. So close to Grove. And again, we're just like the first cove south, just right after we'd underneath Sailboat Bridge. Well, I hope you've enjoyed our little mini tour of Grand Lake. You know, we've primarily stayed on the north end of the lake, just around Grove, but I wanted to show you just how easy it is to get around some of the fun places by water. And you know, stay tuned because you never know where we're gonna go next.
This is Living Grand on Grand Lake.
This is Living Grand on Grand Lake.
Grand Lake's newest destination for great fun is located just off the lake in Grove. At Cherokee Casino Grove, you'll experience exceptional food and outstanding service. Stop in to relax with your favorite drink and root for your team on the big screen. Experience live local music on the 1897 stage every weekend. Cherokee Casino Grove on Highway 59 at East 250 Road. It's the most fun you'll have off the water.
In today's world, data security is critical to your business's success. It's your most valuable business asset. As potential threats increase daily, protecting your data is a priority. Northeast Oklahoma Electric Cooperative has created a solution. Core Data Center is a state-of-the-art storage facility with 24/7 monitoring and multi-layered security. You can trust Core Data Center to protect your data so you can keep your business operating no matter what. Visit our website or call 918-256-9470. Every day, the employees of the Grand River Dam Authority strive for excellence by focusing on the 5 E's: employees, electricity, environmental stewardship, economic development, and efficiency. We do this by producing low-cost, reliable electricity that touches 75 of the 77 counties in the state. At no cost to the taxpayers, we also manage 70,000 surface acres of lakes and the scenic Illinois River. Annually, the efforts of Team GRDA facilitate over $450 million in economic activity for Oklahoma.
Welcome back to Mid-America Industrial Park's Living Grand on Grand Lake, presented by Cherokee Grove Casino.
At the young age of 16, custom car builder and designer Darryl Starbird bought his first car, a 1941 Ford convertible. He completely overhauled the classic right down to a candy red paint job. His love of building cars led him to become famous for the custom car designs he created for customers all over the world. These days, Starbird has slowed down and opened a museum to display some of his best work.
One of my pet peeves in them days, especially, was I didn't like Japanese cars. I'd sit down at the table and there's 5 Japanese designers there and me. Well, it turned out to really be a pleasant deal because they were overcome and just flabbergasted on the idea that I got to build a whole car because they work for the different Honda and Toyota and so forth. And they were a very small part of any part of the car, you know. So they were just amazed that I could do a whole car and actually call it my design. Well, the first car that really got me started on a national basis was a car called the Pearl, which was a 57 T-Bird. I took it to NHRA Nationals in Indianapolis at that time, or Detroit, to Detroit at that time. And it became the sweepstakes champion at that Detroit show. And while I was there, they also picked my shop as the Custom Car Shop of the Year, NHRA, National Hot Rod Association. And Carcraft magazine was there, and they got to know the editor there, and he actually took that car and put it on the cover and made a big deal out of it. And I took it to the Grand National Roadster Show in California, and it became sweepstakes champion there. It was top 10 of Rod and Custom magazine in 1960. Carcraft called it the Car of the Year. Motor Life magazine, Car of the Year. So in that era, right there, I become not only known nationally, I gained a real reputation nationally as a super builder, so to speak. Well, the most famous car is the one right behind us, the Predictor, and it was early, like to say, the whole start of the bubble top car. I've actually built over 150 cars, and for people from all over, Canada, Panama, a couple in Europe. You know, I built cars for people over the years. But, and I built all types of cars, not just a bubble top car. You know, I built about every kind of car you can think of, actually. The aircraft influence on me back in the days when I was working at Boeing and so forth. You know, helicopters. In fact, I got the first, when I had come up with the idea, I wanted to put a bubble top on a car. I had no idea how to do that, or even had an idea where to go to do it, you know. I happened to run on the guy that had worked for Bell Helicopter down in Fort Worth, and the front of the early helicopters all had bubble tops on the front. He kind of explained to me how they did that, and I kind of converted that over into my thoughts. And the first one I did in 1959, I actually built my own oven because the sheet of plastic is 6 foot by 8 foot. It has to hang in there and get up to 350 degrees and has to get there even heated. And then that's laid down on a table and actually free blown. It doesn't actually touch anything except whatever I have restricting it. If your plastic touches or hits something like a mold, it kills the optics of it, so you can't have it actually hit anything. So they're all free blown, as you can see on my bubbles. I guess my movie experience that made me known mainstream, so to speak, was American Graffiti movie. And they mentioned my name in there in my car. And I probably get more comments about that little one line, better than Darrell Starboard Super Flake Moonbird, than I do all the cars I ever built. I mean, you know, and even today I'll have somebody probably tell me they saw that movie and saw my name or heard my name in there.
It is! It's better than Darrell Starboard Super Flake Moonbird.
The fact that I've been able to do that, had the opportunities, and many breaks went my way. And I think I had a guardian angel, actually, kept track of me and kept me on the right track, too. But over and above that, it's just plain old hard work. You know, when you're going to be successful in any business, you got to be dedicated 100% to that business. And unfortunately or fortunately, I was very dedicated to my career and to building cars, producing car shows, and becoming somewhat famous.
Well, that's all for this edition of Living Grand on Grand Lake. I'm your host, Christy Wallace. Thanks for watching. Join us again next week.
Mid-America Industrial Park's Living Grand on Grand Lake is presented by Cherokee Grove Casino and made possible by
Orchids is a premier manufacturer of private label tissue towel and napkins. If you've purchased private label tissue towel or napkins, there's a very, very good chance that it came from this facility. We went from being a regional player in our game to being a national distributor now, and we're very, very proud of that fact. The employees here at Orchids are great. They provide us the best resource that we could ask for. We've got a lot of honest, hardworking people that really help us, progress as a company. Being inside the Mid-America Industrial Park is a huge advantage to a company like ours because there's a lot of resources that come with it. There's a lot of collaboration between the companies that reside here in the park. For those younger folks that are interested in a career, Orchids is a great place for them to look at. We provide great benefits, we provide a future, we provide opportunities.
Also by
Every day, the employees of the Grand River Dam Authority strive for excellence by focusing on the 5 E's: employees, electricity, environmental stewardship, economic development, and efficiency. We do this by producing low-cost, reliable electricity that touches 75 of the 77 counties in the state. At no cost to the taxpayers, we also manage 70,000 surface acres of lakes and the scenic Illinois River. Annually, the efforts of Team GRDA facilitate over $450 million in economic activity for Oklahoma.
Plus by
I had the drive to boost my earning power.
I was driven to be more competitive in the job market.
Finishing my degree, that's what drives me.
If you left college without a degree, Reach Higher, Oklahoma's degree completion program, can change your life. You get affordable tuition, flexible class schedules with online options, and a degree from a state university.
I was driven to earn my diploma.
And I did it.
Apply today at reachhigheroklahoma.org. Let your drive drive you.
and by viewers and members like you.